Hello, everyone. We're going to study further about being persistent. You remember yesterday we were studying about it. We're going to continue about being persistent. Okay? Yes, let me just remind you an excellent picture of Abraham Lincoln hangs in the president's office in the White House. Often, when I had some matter to decide, said Theodore Roosevelt. Something involved and difficulty to dispose of. Yes, something where there was conflicting rights, interest. I would look up at Lincoln. I would look up at Lincoln. Try to imagine him in my place. Try to figure out what he would do in the same circumstances. It may sound odd to you. It may sound odd to you, but frankly, it seemed to make my troubles easier of solution. Okay? Yes, why not try Roosevelt Roosevelt's plan? Yes, why not? If you are discouraged and feeling like giving up the fight, make a more effective speaker of yourself. Very important point. Okay? Yes, why not ask yourself what he would do under the circumstances? Yes, many times we are depressed. Do not quit. Yes, you know what he would do. You know what he did do, isn't it? After he had been beaten by Stephen A. Douglas in the race for the US Senate, he admonished his followers not to give up after one or 100 defeats. Very important point. Do not quit. Yes, do not give up. Keep, next point, keep the certainty of reward before you. Keep the certainty of reward before you. How I wish I get you to prop this book open on your breakfast table every morning until you had memorized these words from Professor William James. William James. Let no youth have any anxiety about the upshot of his education, whatever the line of it may be. If he keeps faithfully busy each hour of the working day, he may safely leave the final result to itself. He can, with perfect certainty, count on making waking up from some fine morning to find himself to find himself one of the competent ones of his generation in whatever pursuit he may have mingled singled out. Yes, he may have singled out. And now, with the renowned Professor James to fall back upon, I shall go so far as to say that if you keep right on practicing intelligently, you may confidently hope to wake up one fine morning and find yourself one of the competent speakers of your city or community. Very encouraging, isn't it? Regardless of how fantastic that may sound to you. Now, it is true as a general principle. Exceptions, of course, there are. A man with an inferior mentality and personality and with nothing to talk about is not going to develop into a local Daniel Webster. But within reason, the assertion is correct. Let me illustrate. Former Governor Stokes of New Jersey attended the closing banquet of one of our classes at Trenton. He remarked that the talks he had heard that evening were as good. The remarks were that the talks he had heard that evening were as good as the speeches that he had heard in the House of Representatives and Senate at Washington. Yes, and also these Trenton speeches were made by businessmen who had been tongue tied with audience fear a few months previously. They were not incipient Sissy Ross. These New Jersey businessmen, they were typical of the businessmen. One fine morning, yes, they were typical of the businessmen one finds in any American city. Yet they woke up one fine morning to find themselves among the competent speakers of their city and probably in the country. I have known and carefully watched literally thousands of persons trying to gain self confidence and ability to talk in public. Those that succeeded were in only a few instances persons of unusual brilliancy. They were people of unusual brilliancy. For the most part, they were the ordinary run of businessmen you will find in your own hometown. But they kept on. More exceptional men sometimes got discouraged. Yes, they got discouraged. Yes, and also more exceptional men sometimes got discouraged or too deeply immersed in money making, and they did not get very far. But the ordinary individual with grit and singleness of purposes, yes, of purpose, singleness of purpose, at the end of the road was at the top. Okay, friends, so that was for today. Remember the points, do not quit, be persistent, and keep the certainty of reward before you. God bless you. Take care. Love you all. See you again tomorrow. Till then, bye.